Welcome back to AM Northwest. Well, if you scroll social media, chances are really good you've seen the work of our next guest. But you don't need to get online to enjoy the Portland artist's latest project. We welcome back the author of Putting Balloons on a Wall is Not a Book, Michael James Schneider. Good to have you with us again.
It's so great to be back.
Okay, your book is out.
Yeah,
it's finally
out.
It's
Today's
today.
the day. Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Surreal.
Yeah.
It's absolutely surreal. It went from this abstract project that I was working on for a year and a half to finally getting this box of books a week ago and opening it and just bursting into tears because it's real. It's tangible. I can hold it in my hand.
Your story is fascinating because, first of all, let's start with how'd you come up with the idea to put balloons, letter balloons, on a wall?
I've always been fascinated with the idea of mocking social media and making fun of social media tropes.
Yeah.
And the balloons you see everywhere. Everyone uses them for birthdays and anniversaries and wedding announcements and engagements. And so it was kind of a natural progression to just start putting balloons on walls, spelling really profound or funny or you know, mental health quotes as well. It's just a natural progression.
Well, when you talk about mental health quotes, because you went through some tough times, this kind of helped you through that.
It really did. It really did. And all the quotes, I always say the quotes mean something to me as well. People ask how I pick them and what the criteria is. And I pick things that inspire me too. So anytime you see, you know, a few posts about a narcissist or a breakup, it means I'm probably going through it too.
That's your breakup. I know you lost your dad. That had to have been challenging. So this probably helped you heal in some way, right? It was so
wonderful. I dedicated the book to my dad and my cat, who passed within a month of each other last year. Thank you. And I know he would have been so proud. So there is that element of honoring his memory through my art.
Explain how it works. So you buy these letter balloons. First of all, you come up with a quote and a place. Okay. Tell me more.
Well, I reuse the balloons from shoot to shoot, so a lot of them are stored in my studio.
Some people complain about that, right?
Yes, yes. The mylar balloons are not great for the environment, and I even use the ones from my beginning shoots. You can tell because I used to cut the tails off the poor little things, the little valve, and now I don't do that, but I still have those balloons from my very first shoots that have stayed durable even now.
Right. But if you want a different color, you just change that through Photoshop, right?
I have probably about 6 different colors.
Okay.
I'll use adjacent colors. So I can use pink and red together and then sort of shade them a little bit differently to make them all match.
Gotcha. So then how do you pick a place? You put a lot of Portland on your...
I do. People recognize the walls. If they don't know that I'm based in Portland, they eventually recognize a few of the walls. Hey, that's the red on salmon wall, which is a favorite wall of mine to use. I have sort of a repertoire, sort of a catalog of walls that I use locally. So I love to find a new wall or a new mural to like overlay with my balloons.
When did you know this was kind of a hit? Because you first started putting them on social media, right?
Yeah, and I did that in 2018, 2019. They started getting traction suddenly. It was not a gradual thing. People
was that
who
at the
followed
start
me
of
loved
COVID?
me. It was. It was May of 2020, and all of a sudden, the comedian Johnny Taylor Jr. liked to say, "I never saw any balloons on a wall, and suddenly that's all I saw everywhere." And I think I just got lucky. Twice in 1 week, a couple of celebrities found my art and reposted it, and I couldn't even open my Instagram app for a couple of days. It was just this massive, massive influx of followers. So.
And when did you know you could quit your job?
I finally quit it last October. I was out of PTO. I wanted to go on an extremely important trip back to my hometown to sort of honor the memory of my dad.
Right.
And I just took the plunge. I was being very careful about it. You know, I had to get my health care in order because I wasn't going to have that through my employer anymore. I had to make sure that I had enough of a cushion for maybe a tough, you know, winter. But I did it, and I am so happy.
And now when you put these balloons on walls now, you have like a whole party happening. Like people can show up and watch you do it.
Every couple months we have something called a blow up where I'll announce where we're going to do the installations. And that's my favorite part. It's great putting these out there and having it go viral. It's wonderful having a book of it, but there's nothing that compares to the feeling of doing an installation and seeing someone who walks down a street all the time or walks down the same, path in the forest all the time, turning a corner, and all of a sudden there's this blazing, beautiful, bright message that speaks to something in their heart.
Yeah.
That's what I love. Whether they know my art already or not,
yeah.
I love that sense of wonder and discovery that you get when you turn a corner and just see something unexpected and surprising.
And in addition to balloons, sometimes you use other things because there are flowers that you use, right?
I use flower petals. Every few weeks I'll go to the Dollar Tree near me and buy a huge bouquet of flowers and pluck all the blossoms off, and then I lay those in grass to spell other phrases and take the photo with a drone.
Right.
I use LED letters that they usually use in storefronts like nail salons and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But I buy a battery pack and then I put them in nature, and the contrast of these blazing LED letters spelling out some profound or funny quote in the middle of the forest. I just love that contrast.
So, okay, when you have those blow up parties, so do people want to have like their picture taken with you when they're looking at it?
Sometimes.
Do they want to help you? Do they give you advice?
Sometimes.
A little to the left, a little to the right?
Yeah, it's definitely a collaborative effort, and that's what I love. I love when people get involved. Again, whether they know the art or not, the art just attracts friendly, curious people, and Portland's full of those.
Full of them, absolutely. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you
We
so
want to
much.
tell everyone the book again is titled Putting Balloons on a Wall is Not a Book. Michael James Schneider, so good to see you again,
Thank
and
you
congrats
so much
on all
for
your
having
success.
me back. Oh, thank you so much.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away. Awesome.